Oh, guys, this may well be it. Where we left off, Aurelius Silvermist was trying to ascend, and through difficult times, through hard struggles, some gigantic cock-ups, and some stabbing through some faces, you guys have managed to sail across the skies of Waterdeep, above her armies, over the heads of your allies engaging in the streets, and you've managed to put a stop to her ritual, put a stop to her plans, and in the end dispatched her, dying at the feet of Lila. You managed to stop some sort of ritual that she was doing atop these towers through cannon and through boat, and the sacrifice of a very recently summoned saber-toothed tiger. As silence now falls upon the city, you can hear the fighting below is dwindling out. The rifts, the small ones, seem to be sealing up. Those smaller than 5 feet seem to be closing all around you. And in quick succession, it's not long before the noise of their shutting tapers out. And you guys are stood in silence atop this tower, your Leviathan flying ship parked next to you, a deceased champion and a deceased vigil at your feet. And I believe Lavender and Lila both in possession of a shard of the Shadowfell. Guys, what would you like to do?
Just silence.
If we don't say anything, the campaign won't
It
end.
will never end.
Yeah, we can just decision paralysis this for another week, right? We can just sit around and chat for 3 hours, and Matt has to come back and continue.
Just quickly, because I remember saying in the last session that the shards seem to be like fairly useless. Do they still have any signal with detect magic on them?
Oh, absolutely. Casting detect, you cast detect magic.
Yeah.
You notice that both shards have the same magical signature you've seen before. Both extremely powerful. It's just when you physically touch them, there isn't that being swept away into the memories of the Shadowfell that seems to be happening.
Okay.
Lavender, can you give me a perception check, please?
Sure thing. Didn't actually get my character sheet up because I didn't think I would be using it. One moment. Perception. Whatever that was.
8.
No.
Cool.
7, actually.
There is a... Oh, even better. There is a... you feel a distinct weight in your eyes from this detect magic. A more prominent source of magic than you were anticipating. This whole area seems to be abuzz with it, but when it comes to actually pinpointing anything of significance, you just have these shards in your hand that don't seem to be working.
Well, they still seem to be magical, but they don't have the same effect as before. I can't tell much more than that, I'm afraid. But one of these is from your world, right? And she looks at Hunter.
I believe so. I don't usually mess with this sort of stuff, but I could probably go and put it back at some point.
Where was it? It came from your Shadowfell.
Yeah, I assume that it'll be the same place in this Shadowfell, just our Shadowfell. I assume it'll be roughly the same spot, like in my reality. So I could always just, pop it back.
Looking around us, Matt, how many rifts are left? Are there any rifts left?
There are many rifts left. All of the small ones seem to have closed, but everything like up to about 10 feet and bigger, they're all still open. They don't seem to be closing. I will also say now you're looking at them directly, you can see that there is, your Detect Magic will still be up. So there is still that transmutation and conjuration element to them, but that chronomancy element, that time element, is no longer present. Additionally,
Go on.
as you look at them, while the rifts themselves don't appear to be changing at all, the magical signature of them, you can see, is very steadily increasing in its intensity.
That's interesting. The time magic that was surrounding these rifts is gone, but the magical signal is increasing on them. Like something is pouring more magic into these rather than less.
Hmm. Curiosity question. Does Lelia have the Mind Stone on her? Or the Soul
yes,
Stone,
we did.
sorry.
We didn't loot her, did we?
No, just because if we are returning things to where they came from, we should probably take that back.
Since her head is still in Lila's hands but Lila's sword is still through her face, Lila will lay her head down on the ground softly and then, without saying a word still, just begin to slowly look through the Lelia's robes to see if there's anything on her possession of that nature.
Okay. Can you give me a dex check, please?
A dex check?
Yep.
17, actually. 18 minus 1.
Uh,
I was going
you're
to
gonna
roll absolute dog shit.
You're gonna have to wait a moment because my dice are still in the other room, so I need to go and grab them.
Okay.
Dex check for searching somebody can only be bad.
This is where, the lady's hand, shoots up to, fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it. I've got it. Alright, here we go. Okay, cool. As you search through her belongings, yes, you do find the soul stone attached to a ring on her finger. You also find a very old-looking, very rudimentary-looking amulet that represents the faith, the same holy symbol that all of her followers have. She has one tied around her neck. Beyond that, you don't find anything of significance.
Alright. I will take off the symbol of silver mist that is around her neck and the ring and pass the ring to Hunter.
As you slip the ring off, a hand does indeed stretch up from Lelalia's body. But it's not Lelalia's hand. You see a spectral, ghostly hand reaching and grasping, trying to snatch this stone off you. As it misses, a being slowly rises from half in Lelalia and half in the tower itself, rising out, hair flowing backwards, a banshee-looking being with a glowing red center.
Sophia.
Hey.
As you take a closer look at this being, you can see that the redness in the center of its chest is very similar to that of the ring in your hand. Seems like another one of these stones.
Huh.
That is mine, actually. It is from my world. So if you don't mind, I will take it back now.
Well, they're also from. This is from their world, and I'd rather entrust it to them. Who or what are you?
My name is Agatha. And I've been searching for that for quite a while.
Lila to
That name.
Slippy Boy.
Misa here!
Do you know an Agatha?
Misa do know it, Agatha. Misa been told about one. Whether same Agatha, I don't know, Misa.
Friend or foe before I start swinging? Agatha's right here in front of me. Maybe alert the rest of the group. Froggy alert! Froggy alert!
I really don't want to metagame, so you're going to have to tell me if Ribbit knows what
He
he
will
knows.
have been
I don't
told the
know what he
stories,
knows.
yeah.
I assumed as much. Misa, no good idea to give her that. Misa don't like her.
I think that I don't know you. This seems to be a thing that you were trying to sneak off of my dead sister's body, and I'd rather entrust a family heirloom such as this to people that I do know.
He looks around at the number of you, all a bit on edge, and just says, "Another time, then." She smiles and disapparates into a red mist. Vanishes from sight.
Is that what you were looking for?
You have the
It
hunter.
was-
Who is that to, Lavender?
Oh yeah, to Hunter.
Yes, this is the exact thing. That what we just saw. I don't know the exact story off the top of my head, but a few of our old companions, I think, made a deal or something with her years ago. What, years ago? Probably months ago. And yeah,
No, it was years.
That could have gone a lot worse. Oh, yes. Yeah, I don't know the exact story. It's been so long. But yeah, well, from what I've been told, that went pretty much as good as possible. I did, however, notice that she was glowing red. Did you get a look at why she might be glowing red?
Would have her detect magic seen anything?
Oh yeah. There's
Oh,
another
yeah.
of those powerful stones in her chest.
Okay. So, well, yeah, she had one of those stones inside of her. So what is that? Is that the same thing or a different one?
Yeah. So that's what we really didn't want to happen. It's a different one. There are a few of them altogether. They all do different things, and that one's quite a powerful one. But yeah, I believe that was the one Mephistopheles used against us. I think when we fought him. I think that's the same one. I think it was the reality. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. GM.
You are correct.
But yeah, yeah, that could do all sorts of shenanigans. So yeah, yeah, she's
Wait.
going to be after this stone.
So Lelia had a reality stone?
From what I saw, I assume so. I don't know why Agatha would have been teaming up with her, or been around, but it seemed to look that way. It's curious.
Would Lavender know what it would do? I'm assuming. I mean, how close is it? Are we
Absolutely
talking
no
to
idea.
Marvel? Okay, no
Absolutely
worries. Okay.
no idea. For anyone who wants any further context, I'll at some point upload the one shot where Josh and Jack really fucked up to explain what has just happened. But it's a bit of a side note.
Okay.
That's a bit of an exaggeration.
But believable all the same. So what do we do with that now? I mean, it sounds powerful, no?
The Soul Stone, yes, very powerful. I think it's one of the stones we found on our travels in the last group, and either one of our old friends, Seal or Pars, they had it as their weapon of choice for a while. I mean,
What does it do exactly?
was I ever? I was attuned to the gauntlet, so would I know what the stones did individually at that point?
Yeah, but you'd only be able to recall the same way Jack can recall.
Yeah.
So what is it that this one
basically,
does?
it had something to do with if anybody killed near it, their soul couldn't be absorbed into it, instead of them, just dying. And a few other bits and bobs on it as well, which I'm not too sure. It gives you boosts, it makes you feel more powerful in certain aspects. It's an attunable item. You have to sit there with it for a while. If you try and use it when you're not attuned, it will. I think it harms you, but only if you try and use it. One of the stones will just harm you even if you just touch it, even if you don't try and use it. But yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'll take it back to the reality. You guys can keep it for if you really want to. It's not the end of the world. I just think if it belongs on that side, it should probably go back to that side, just in case it causes some ruckus.
We are in possession of a few items that almost led Lilia to ascend and break all of reality. I think perhaps we should be scattering these as far as we possibly can.
Yeah, the last time we used all of the stones together, to get this, and he'll gesture to the ship. They all rose up into the sky together and then darted off over the horizons in different directions, and they're all scattered across our plane of existence currently. Well, one of them is now inside of that banshee. The other one we have in your hand, Lila, and the other three are just randomly scattered in our reality somewhere. Yeah, I think when we asked her back in the day if she had some sort of stone, and she said, yeah, she doesn't know what it really was, but it's useful. I think if she'd have actually known what these stones could do, she would have spent a lot more time trying to get them instead of ascending. Because, yeah, I believe, Hunter believes from what he's seen and knows about the stones, I believe she could have just ascended with the stones. They're that powerful.
Okay. So yeah, we need to return it and hide these things. Hunter, is there any way you can tell the difference between these two shards? Is there a way to know which one belongs in your reality?
Hunter will walk over to the shards of the Shadowfell, wherever they may be, and he'll pull out his prime
On Lila,
material.
one on Lavender.
Oh, okay. I'll hold my hand up then if you want to give it to Hunter, and he'll pull out his shard of the prime material, and he'll try and use his detect magic and arcana knowledge to see if the magic signatures seem the same, if that's something he can do. If he can't, then he can't. He's never done it before, so it's a long shot.
Okay. As you take both one in each hand, you pull out your fragment. As you begin to cast detect magic and inspect these things, you can feel a pull on them, almost like you have magnets in each hand. They seem to kind of draw each other closer and then repel and draw and repel. Like they keep on swapping between these two forces. And as you inspect, you see an arc of green lightning strike from one to the other and then back again. And the magical signature of them is like pulsing every time that happens. Give me an Arcana check.
Certainly. Yeah, 13.
Looking at them both and your interactions with them in the past, yes, you can tell there is slight physical differences and magical signatures differences between the two. You can distinguish them both apart. As you have that like sense of relief of, yep, that one's ours. Another one of those arcs strikes from one shard to the other, and as it does, all of the rifts in the sky pulse, and the ground beneath you shakes for a second or two.
I will
And then
immediately give it
returns to
back to
normal.
Lavender. Just for now.
Thanks.
Yeah, you take that thing. It's doing fucky stuff. Yeah.
This one,
that one's
this
mine.
particular one.
Well, I assume I saw some energies flowing between the two, and they seem to coincide with whatever that was. He'll gesture to the riffs. Yeah, I believe that one is mine from our reality. But that's quite interesting what's just happened. Could it possibly be that these aren't, because they're like waypoint locator thingies to the heart of the prime material, etc. Well, mine is the shard. Do you think it has something to do with them being on this side of the rifts when they should be on the other? That's why the rifts can't close properly.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
I will note that you guys have done quite a few checks in the past to determine whether that's an important issue, and you have asked the gods about it. You have asked the Morning Lord in our last session about it. The conclusive answer each time was that is not seemingly a factor.
Maybe it's not that it has to be. It's just that that's where it belongs. I don't know.
If we go to separate ends of the tower, so Hunter will walk to the opposite end of the tower. Is there any noticeable effect in the rifts with the increase in distance from the stones?
No, not particularly. It was just in that one instance when they were closer that caused a reaction. But bringing them further apart doesn't seem to do anything.
Okay. I'm drawing a blank with this one.
Can I interrupt you all?
Yeah.
And I would like one person to be nominated from the group, please. Just pick a person. Someone can volunteer if they wish.
I'll volunteer if no one else would fancy it. Liam, you can take it if you want.
I don't care. Like, you can nominate me if you want. Like, I'm just sitting here trying to piece shit together for the minute.
Nominate for what?
Something.
Not
That's
telling
the
you.
question.
Yeah, go on, fuck it. Yeah, why not? Go on, I'll do it.
Cool. Can you just roll me a d20 plus 1, please?
Cool. That would be a 15 plus 1.
Good to know. Continue.
Yeah, I mean, I know it. We've been told it's nothing to do with them being returned to their realities, but it's probably the first time, maybe even in a long time, maybe even altogether, that these stones have been in the same plane together since their creation. So it could be the fact that they're just on the same plane rather than not the same reality. Maybe it's just fucking with everything that these shards are together. Maybe they just don't need to be together.
I had I think it was something from my background or something. But basically, it's background. So from researcher, where it says when you attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, you don't know that information. You often know where, from whom you can obtain it. With that, would anything kind of spark Lavender's memory at this point about why these shards might interact with these rifts in that way?
Maybe she was. Maybe with what you. The fact that they were so close and everything shook. Maybe because they're shards, she was going to combine them to fuse the realities together. Because she said that she wanted to bring the two worlds into one, right? Well, that would be two shards into one. Hunter, when you were looking at them, did it look like the energy that flew off of one to one and back again to another? Did it look like the ends could meet?
Possibly, but she didn't have this shard or know we had it. I don't think.
No, she had both
They
shards.
didn't interact. They didn't interact with your prime material shard. They interacted with each other. The two shadow cell shards.
That's what I'm saying.
Did any? Sorry. Would I have gotten anything from that thing that I asked Matt?
Give me a history check, please.
Cool.
Let's go.
And yes, Tefla, you can use your grim psychometry. Tell me exactly what on.
Ooh.
10.
Well, I kind of want to do a collective check. So, like, the shards, and any, like, background information that Hunter or anyone else knows or has gleaned. I want to kind of channel it into a dark vision that may provide me with things previously unknown to me.
Okay.
If it works.
Go ahead and give me a history check then.
A lot better.
19.
Oh!
Okay. Tefl, you receive a very fast-paced vision of the history of this shard. These shards together, both giving you a vision of solely the shard itself sat in utter darkness. The surroundings seem to flick and change as eons pass and the shard remains a constant. You do see beings interact with them from time to time, but they're gone in an instant. The closer and closer this vision gets to modern day, you see Vecna appearing above the shard, interacting with it, learning from it, and then he is too gone. Back to darkness the shard returns until you see the face of one Lelia Silvermist. You see her learning, studying, and finally using these shards, drawing information from them, and drawing up her plans to indeed merge them. As the vision ends with the shard being scattered across the floor and the Lelia falling, right up to this very moment, both you and Lavender at the same time recall a word that you have read about previously in connection with this kind of thing, and that is chronobreak.
Oh.
So perhaps she was trying to diverge these timelines. Make one. Converge these timelines. Wait, is the chronobreak the breaking or the pulling together? I forget which way around.
Chrono breaks the reset.
Pulling together.
Pulling together, yeah, okay. So she was trying to pull two different timelines from your reality, perhaps, and ours together. Wait, when me and Ribbit were theorizing on this, we found perhaps some evidence of another chrono break sometime before the Raven Queen last ascended, and she would have been the last one to do this, right? Perhaps Lilele was using the same method that she knew of to pull these worlds together and basically create a whole new timeline.
No, she said that she had knowledge that Vecna didn't have because she has knowledge from two of the shards, and that was everybody. Arabella said that as well, that that's what she had, and like she said before she passed, she was trying to merge two into one, so the timeline
Right, but
converged into one.
And a chrono break can essentially the way that it works, it basically can rewrite people's memories. It can it doesn't necessarily change the written documentation, but it can absolutely make sure that people remember things differently, as though the two merged worlds were always like that. There's evidence of different things happening in these different worlds, but as far as anybody might be concerned, that was the way it was always going to be.
It's around this time that you get a message dropped into the head of Thog. I think they're giving up. Is it over? Only The rifts are still here. No, Egris, don't you? And the message cuts out.
So,
Tell them it is done. Lilia is dead.
so do we have to do what she wanted to do to fix the rifts? Do we have to merge them? Is that what we have to do? Is that how we fix this all? She was right. And then Lila would just kind of turn to look at her potential dead sister on the ground.
How would we even do that?
Well, when they got close, they freaked out, so maybe we just put them together and timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly magic stuff happens. I don't know, this is way above my pay grade, Lavender. I have no
But
idea.
wait, because if we do that and there's a chrono break, some things might get I don't know, removed. Some things might get completely erased from one world or another.
Well, how about we don't mess with timelines?
But it
As you saw, quite a lot of those small ones went poof.
might be the only way
So-
to make it fixed, though.
My suggestion is take our time, see what happens. Because these things aren't getting any worse, they are just there. We just came through a very emotional fight. So I would suggest that we don't make any rash decisions. That often leads to very bad outcomes.
I think at
Perhaps-
this point Eve might pipe up and point out a quick decision that should be made is bringing Champion back and Vigil.
That is
Specifically
the decision we want to
Champion on
make.
Eve's part, though.
I think Thug promised to do that tomorrow morning because they can, with the help of the Morning Lord.
I think you are right, yes.
Yeah.
Is anyone able to bring Vigil back? I pretty much used everything I have.
Moreau has the spell today, right? Because it's still today. His Daik's just been brought back. Does Moreau have the spell slot?
I highly doubt it.
After that time.
Yeah,
No.
he might also have to wait until morning. Let me just double check. What
I think
level
he did
spell is it?
mention- I think he did mention he had one high level spell left.
Because I know
I'm
Chris
not
was
sure if you want to
specifically
do
keeping
something.
two. He was keeping two spell slots open, and he used one of them for a counter spell, but there was one left that he was specifically keeping. I mean,
Yes, it was level 8 you used for the counter spell.
yeah. And then I think he was also intended on keeping a level 7 or a level 6. I guess maybe for another Raise the Dead. But without him being here, I can neither confirm nor deny.
It was a raised dead, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it's the roll 20 is not up to date, so I can't actually tell you.
Yeah. I mean, Chris will turn up at like 7:30, right? Isn't it? That's when Chris
Yeah.
normally gets here. Yeah. So, I mean, we could always just put a pause on the Moreau res thing and.
Yeah.
let's just keep Vigil a little bit warm. I don't want him to go cold. He was the few of the ones that actually came along despite being very scared, so I think we should honor him.
Yeah, I kind of talked him into immediately dying. I feel bad about that.
Well, I did bring him back once.
I was thinking also, perhaps when we get to, speaking to others and telling them what happened here, maybe we should suggest that Malcor is perhaps remembered somehow. It seems that he brought us together in order to do this and had a lot of the information ready. If perhaps it wasn't without him, none of this would have happened.
Was Malcor among the bodies? Or
Yes, back down in the Blackstaff Tower.
uh,
He was the one who who gave us our first mission, literally, to go and save him, but it was him and Vigil, both of them, who started all of this.
well, I do have a question. Does anyone know what happened to Mordenkainen?
We don't know. They said they took him, but we haven't seen him yet.
I would like to try to cast message to Mordenkainen and see if they are close enough to respond. Hello.
There-
are you? Testing.
Go.
Mordenkainen, if you're there, please respond.
There is no response.
Okay, I don't think they're close enough.
Lavender. Yeah, at this point, Lavender is looking at the shard in her hands, and she's looking up to the rifts in the sky, and she will message Hunter and say, "Can I talk to you for a second over on the ship?"
Of course.
Matt, I
So-
do have another question. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I believe there were 3 shards, right? One is with Hunter, one is with Lavender. Where's the third one?
There's
I mean,
there's
if
not
Hunter
3
had it to
shards,
that
but
point.
Oh, 3 altars, but not 3 shards.
No, there's 2 shards of the Shadowfell, and also Hunter has a shard of the Prime Material.
It's not
Oh,
a
okay.
shard in the same way, but yeah. The third altar, the third pedestal, was left empty. You could probably assume that was for the third item that she was after, but never managed to attain.
Could I look
Um,
around if there's any shiny trinkets that were supposedly fueling this thing? Unless they're
They-
not more, of course.
Anything like that would be on the other 2 towers.
How far of distance is that?
150 feet.
Okay.
Lavender.
Lavender is on the ship with Hunter.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know they immediately split.
So, you're telling me that they're climbing up the trees?
Snapping to Hunter and Lavender.
So Lavender is kind of like, as I say, looking at this shard, and she says, "Hunter, if this is a world where you and Ribib were dead, what if this is also a world where your brother is alive?"
That could well be the case, but it wouldn't be my brother. It would be Dead Hunter's brother. It wouldn't be mine.
You wouldn't even want to try and reconcile?
I don't think so. I think if I take that part of myself away from me, then I wouldn't know who I am if I have a brother again. And it's sort of my brother, but not my brother. And but then plus I wouldn't want to do that to him either. If he is here, he's lost his brother, and maybe going through the same thing I was going through. And I don't know how I would have felt if an alternate version of my brother turned up out of the blue. I don't think I would have appreciated very much. I know it's a bit weird to understand, but I don't have any sort of plans or wants to meet that person.
She looks up at the rifts again. And she says, I've been thinking about what it means for these rifts to close. And I think, I don't know, but when they do, I think we might end up on the side that we came from. Or at least we have to choose which side we have to end up. And I know that the Rib is pretty confident that you can travel through realities, but there's no guarantee after we fix them that you can do that. And you should know that I'm not from another Toril like this. The world that I come from is very different from this one, and potentially very far away in this multiverse. And well, even if you could, it seems like a lot to ask just to visit one another, doesn't it?
I never said that I should go back. I just said I should return the stone. I have no real particular reason to stay in my reality, if at all. If I have to close the rifts, then that's a burden I'll take, but I don't see any reason that I need to go back that I can't come back after I've put the stones back. That's not felt like my home for a while. The place that feels most like home is when I'm talking with you.
But she smiles at that, and she'll say, but what if you can't come back? What if you're stuck there?
Well, I don't know what Ribbit thinks on the whole thing, but he could take them back for me.
Hunter, I know and I expect and I want you to stay with Ribbit. I wouldn't ask that of you. You know that, right?
Yes.
But if I'm not able to go with you, or worse, I guess something happens to one of us, or both of us, along the way, well, you say that you don't think it's the same for another reality to meet in the same way. But I think what I've been thinking is that I find comfort in knowing about all of these different realities that exist, these parallel worlds, and that if something does happen, perhaps me and you, we might not make it in this reality, but perhaps we do in another life. If you say if you say the word, though, I will be by your side for however long we have in this one.
I have no plans to go anywhere.
And of course, we have some things to do. If
Yeah,
you'll
well,
come with me, of course.
when have I ever said no to an adventure?
Well, I need to borrow your amulet to get back to hell, for one.
Hell sounds good this time of year.
Yep, we can go finish things back where we started. See where that takes us. You fancy trying to trick a devil with me?
I'd go to hell and back with you, and I'll wink at you.
She will. I think she was taken to absent-mindedly kind of tracing the tattoos on Hunter's hands. And she'll say, well, since we saved the world, I think that there's a few tattoos of yours that I haven't seen yet. You want to show me?
Absolutely.
Fade to black.
You guys back on the tower realise that Lavender and Hunter are gone for quite a while. You don't see them up on deck.
On his left arse cheek.
I knew I was going to come back into chat after that fucking face. Jesus.
They're gone for quite a while, so in their absence, those on the tower, Moreau has said, well, Chris said that Moreau has an 8th level spell slot remaining that he was holding to use a Feeble Mind on Lelalia. So that is available if you wish to do a resurrection now. But otherwise, what are you guys on the tower doing, thinking, feeling?
Fuck. No, wait. I forgot to ask one thing. Sorry. Rewind slightly.
I thought you already did that.
or at some point whilst this is going on. You said once, Hunter, that name wasn't the one that you were given originally. And I wondered if it didn't cause you too much pain, if you could tell me what your old name was.
Did I?
Yeah, you said that you gave yourself this name after your brother was killed.
I've not spoken my true name to anybody, which is now canon, even though I did tell you all in the first session, but you've all forgot, so that's now canon again. I've not told anybody my real name other than my good pal Rivet. And only the people who are number one in my life to me will ever hear my name. So, my name is Tandem.
Tandem. It is a nice name.
It's a name I was born with.
Does it carry too much weight for you?
No. It's one of the only things I can hold on to without giving it to everybody, other than the people I care about. So that's the thing I've chosen to keep.
Well then, Tandem. Thank you for dancing with me. And no matter how things end up, I will never forget what we've had. Okay, back to Fade Black.
Lavender, what languages do you speak?
Sylvan, Orc, and Goblin.
Okay, never mind.
Can I make a history check though?
No. It's not how languages work.
Fine. Oh, wait. Have we rested yet?
No.
Fuck. Okay, never mind. Cool. Never mind.
So yes, people on the tower. What are you doing?
Ribbit would walk to the opposite end to where the ship is and stay there perfectly still and not do anything else.
Okay. Is that because you want to keep him away from Hunter?
Yep.
Okay. As he's standing at the edge of the tower and looking down on the city below, you can see that there are Lililia's forces being rounded up and tied up, left on the streets, but like under guard. You can see as well, just at the base of the tower, where there was that perimeter of guards stop people approach the tower. Those soldiers have now also been have also surrendered and are being detained. One particular group of them in their very, very ornate, clearly high-ranking armor is visible on the closest street corner. Sister Jatham is one of them, and Ribbit's blood will begin to boil at this once slain, now resurrected person surviving this final fight. If it weren't for the fact that this particular group is being watched over by two mighty stags, and as they're tied up, there are several dozen ducks that are waddling up and sitting on their backs to try and hold them down. Clearly a result of Eve's summoning doing. Other than that, the other thing Ribbit sees, after a few minutes go by, is that large silver dragon of Argynvost flying around with Rakeen still on its back. Seems to be doing the odd patrol, trying to find any stragglers. It flies over the towers twice before circling back around, and you see it go to not land but hover just over the top of one of the towers, reaching into the smoke. As it does, it pulls up a body. And with Ribbit's passive perception, it's not a very good conditioned body, but from the center of this tower, Argynvost is clearly lifting the body of Blackstaff. And as the dragon flies over to the other tower, the other talon reaches in to the smoke in the center of the tower, and again, a bit mangled, is pulling out the body of Mordenkainen. The dragon then flies off down into the city below, laying the bodies to rest as Rakeen dismounts, and you can see him meeting up with some other companions. The small black kobold of Egress, Autumn, and Fangle, all discussing things off in the distance, while others begin to tend to the bodies of the fallen. Is anybody doing anything?
Lila's just gonna. Lila's been looking at Lelia on the ground since she said, stick the crystals together. And just the headspace that she's in right now, she's just gonna kind of kneel down and then, sit on her legs in front of the Lelia's corpse. And she's just gonna untangle Arabella's cape from herself and take off Catherine's pouch. And then just sit there contemplating, was she right? Do we have to put the crystals together? Is that, did she die for nothing apart from being stopped? Could we have talked it out with her, like we suggested? I mean, and then she's just gonna sit there silent with 1,000 different thoughts rolling around in her head. The first one being, is she actually my sister or not, or was she lying? And then the thought of what Jack was saying about, what Hunter was saying, about the soul ring. And she's just gonna sit there quietly, thinking about things. And then she will attempt to grasp the shard of the Shadowfell again to see if it sucks her away again this time now, or if it's still inert.
You grasp it, but again, nothing happens. You still remain in this present moment.
Okay. Yeah, that's what Lila's gonna do. She's just gonna kneel in front of her sister's body and think.
Okay. I think it would be very in keeping with Thog for them to be comforting Eve at the loss of Champion. Teffel's relaying their vision to the group. The history of the shards. Are you guys wanting Moreau to bring Vigil back or wait? And we'll say at this point, given things are like progressing slowly and there's a lot of introspection, Hunter and Lavender eventually return to the group.
Yeah, pure tassel hair. Whew. Sorry about that. Had to get it out my system. What? Where were we?
With very high passive perception, can I understand what has gone down?
I
Nope.
don't think you need passive perception.
The only
With
one with
your-
a body strong enough to move the airship by themselves is probably Hunter. So, when the ships are rocking, don't come a knocking.
Oh,
I'd say the apparel is suspicious, but with your kobold nose, you know exactly what has just happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. We had a lovely just time drinking tea. That was all that was going on, okay?
Something was getting drunk.
How long exactly has it been since I stepped on the ship?
10 inches?
Roll.
Give me a
Roll
constitution
d20.
check.
Yeah!
You know what? It feels like a while, but not that much has changed by the time you get back.
Checks out.
So, what are you guys doing?
Well, what is everybody's plan now? We saved all of realities. Maybe, perhaps, kind of still a few tears left, but mostly.
do we know anyone within? Does Mordenkainen have any resurrection spells, or?
He's dead, right? Somebody
Yeah,
said
but
he
if
was
we
dead.
can bring one person back, we might as well bring someone who could bring another person back, potentially, maybe.
Right? I like the thinking. I think we'd have to rest first, though, right? We're all spent.
Mordenkainen, you would know, is a learner of magic. He is a wizard. He does not have access to divine-based spellcasting.
Well, that is worth a try.
I believe that Vigil can, but only before a certain amount of time, so I think this is probably I don't know if your friend on the dragon has any allies in their midst that can do these kinds of things, Thug. Lila kind of says over her shoulder without turning around.
Fog will relay that she doesn't know. Rakeen might, Thrall might, but they've not adventured together in quite a while, so unsure.
No,
And
so
they would like
was that maybe some of Rakeen's forces may have, he may have some friends in it.
She also goes on to reiterate both them and their forces were probably also tapped out right now. even if they did. There are probably people amongst your allied forces that do have that ability, but it's very unlikely that that'll still be feasible today.
Igis nearby?
Ribbit has spotted Egris down in the streets below, with Rakeen,
Okay,
Autumn, Fangle, and a bunch of others.
And we're still on top of the tower, huh?
Correct. So,
Okay.
if you guys don't have anything you want to do in this immediate moment, we'll progress into what you would like to do over the course of the next day, and then we'll slowly begin increasing those time jumps if and when necessary.
I would love to try to collect as many magical items as possible that were on top of the other two towers.
Okay, they have long fallen into the city below, so it will take you a while to get to ground level and start searching the streets, but you can definitely try and do that.
Okay, I would like to do
Give
that.
me an investigation check. I'm gonna say with the chaos of the city below, it's gonna have to be at disadvantage because you are trying to find needles in haystacks.
Okay. Could I use enhanced ability to make it a normal check?
You can.
I would love to do that.
That lasts for like an hour, right?
Yeah, so not very long, but
Yeah.
take whatever I can. Investigation.
Wow.
Five.
For the most part, you find an assortment of common and rare magical items. There's one or two very rare ones amongst this hoard that you find, one of which is Mordenkainen's staff.
Got it. Yes.
Egris, do you want to tell me what the other ones you find are?
Hmm?
Do you want to tell me what you find? Because I have a vague list, but it is. I think it's more fun if you tell me what you find. I'll say that you find amongst the debris, in addition to Mordenkainen's staff, one very rare, 3 rare, and 5 common.
Okay. I just need to check some list up. So just a moment.
DM letting us pick loot, Jesus.
Well, I feel like at this point it'll be quite fun to see what you can come up with.
Boots of speed for everybody.
If you take the mick like that, I will step in and use my actual list.
I'm more
You've been
interested.
warned.
I'm just more interested if there's ever a magical item that would just give you infinite numbers of vegetables.
Oh no.
But I'll go look through the list if there's anything interesting. Otherwise, just random.
Okay. The rest of you, for the rest of this day, this evening, what are you doing?
I'm not going to make that joke. But I think the only other thing Lavender would do is head over to Tia. And she would say, Tia, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you properly for this gift that you made me. She'll like hold the amulet of health. Without this, I'm convinced I would not have made it through that last fight or other fights before then. So thank you so much for everything you do for us. And You're truly appreciated. I hope you know that.
You're most welcome. It was a very tough fight, and well, I made it as I remembered what happened to me at the very start. I thought you could need upon help.
I'll never forget what you've done for me and for all of us. So thank you.
Oh, and I must say, you look very good on that dress, although.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I was going to ask if it's kind of all burnt up and stuff from the meteor swarm. It looks badass, but it doesn't look nearly as nice as when you made it. Do you perhaps have some time or spell to make it back to how it was?
Well, I can use some mending and prestidigitation to make it a little bit nicer. But if you want to restore it to all its glory, we might need to take it back to the shop to fix it up a little bit.
How do you feel if we leave it just a little bit singed?
Can't do that. It's given to you after all.
Not to, undo your hard work, but a reminder of the struggles we have been through.
Right. Yeah, we can definitely do that. And I have a question, Matt. I cannot for the life of me remember what was the rarity of health amulet.
It's in the magic item list, I think.
I should have it. It's just rare.
Yeah.
Wondrous
Okay.
item.
I would love to find one of those.
Okay.
I'll cross that off the list, and here's the reason why. Oh, Lavender, remember that we have the amulet, right?
Yeah?
I was thinking, if you happen to have found a special someone,
You could say that.
do you think this would be useful for it? And Tia, while trying to find all of these items, have used their crafting skills a little bit to make the amulet that they found to look slightly more like a mirror amulet of what has been given to Lavender.
Sick.
Nice.
We have
If
heart-shaped
you-
necklaces. So cute.
If you would like to, here could be a nice gift for that person. And I give this to Lavender.
Yeah, you're so cute. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. This is wonderful. I'll go give it to him. Thank you. And Lavender takes the amulet, and kind of like passing it over to Hunter, just with like she's actually gonna just message, rather than speaking out loud, and she'll say, "Here, Tia made this as a matching one to mine. Perhaps you can stay alive a little longer and keep me alive a little."
Hunter will hold his hands out, accept it, and look over at Tia if they're still about, and just nod my head very appreciatively and wholeheartedly.
Get it? Put your hands together? Okay.
It also raises your constitution, so better luck next time.
Round 2.
Ah!
So, I think we are going to have a 5-minute break here for two reasons.
enough.
One, it gives Chris a chance to get here a bit quicker into the RP, and two, it gives me a chance to pee, and three, it gives everyone who's still here a chance to update Josh on what's just happened. Hello, Josh.
Josh.
We'll have a
had
5-minute
tea.
break now.
See ya.
In 5.
You there, Joshy boy?
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck's sake. I've said many things and it had the wrong mic. Whoops.
Oh.
Okay, let's find the rest of the items. It was 5 common, right?
4 or 5, yeah.
Unfortunately, they weren't uncommon. Would have been very beautiful to find the Cape of Billowing.
We love that.
It's like, of all the items, you're taking this? Yes, absolutely.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hang
Ribbit
on.
was an
That is a
absolute
common
gentleman.
item. Oh, fantastic! I'm having that.
Take them all. Yeah, Ribbit was very gentleman-like, shall we say.
Love that for me.
Find their friends.
While Hunter and Lavender went to the ship for tea,
Yeah, Ribbit's gentlemanliness was very out of character.
Yeah. Best friend forever. He held the camera.
Yeah, invisible.
Anything I'm holding is invisible too. I have had a thought recently. How long have we been here, like in game time? How long has passed?
About an hour.
Okay, cool.
But now we're
Oh,
moving
man.
to like what happens for the rest of the day. So, are you caught up on what has transpired so far?
I know that Hunter and Lavender had tea, and I did something while they had tea.
You went away,
Okay.
so you couldn't listen to them have tea.
Oh.
yeah. So
There
yeah,
was some
because
hot,
Ribbit,
sweaty, steamy tea that happened.
yeah.
Oh, that's
For all
definitely
of-
a lie. Whatever
for all
you
of
thought
9
happened,
minutes.
whatever you thought happened, Ribbit was
No, it's
invisible
done.
and black.
No,
Sorry,
you spotted
sorry,
something and
factually,
it's done. No,
actually untrue.
no.
Sorry,
Well,
I hate
they're
to
on
break it to you.
Also, something just happened. Yeah. So Lila searched Lelalia for the Mind Stone, Soul Stone. Sorry, found it. But as she
Dope.
picked it up, a spectrally hand came out of Lelalia to try and grab it.
Oh.
Yeah, luckily Lila was quick enough and just yanked it away. But then from Lelalia's corpse came a banshee with a red glowing chest.
Oh fuck! have our friends showed up?
I don't know what you mean. No.
Oh, that's concerning. That's really concerning. I'll bring this up in character, but I literally startled awake last night because I was like, yeah, I can just take us home, doesn't matter about the risk. But then I was like, wait, what about my fucking boat? What about my motherfucking boat? The boat does not count as a creature, I need a fucking rift.
I mean, we know where there's one big enough.
Yeah, but is it gonna stay there?
What do you mean?
So moving on to the other part of what you've missed. So the smaller rifts, 5 feet and smaller, all seem to have closed. Everything else is just static the way it is. Lavender has seen that the power within the rifts, even though the rifts aren't being affected themselves. The power within them is still growing very slowly over time. There was checks made into the history of the shards, and there was like both a repulsion and an attraction between the two when Hunter held them both, like energy sparking between the two. Some reminders about the lore you've read and the Lelia's plans, possibly involving a chronobreak, were talked about. And you've seen that while the fighting is basically wrapped up down low and your allies taking Lelia's forces into like detaining them, both Mordenkainen and Blackstaff were pulled dead from the center of the other two towers. Clearly part of this ritual.
Orkies. Chewie's okay though, so it's fine.
You say as champion still remains dead, 20 feet behind you.
Yeah, didn't think about that one. Didn't think about that one. To be
So,
fair, I would have saved champion had people getting thrown off the fucking edge. It was just so tall, man.
Vigil remains dead, but Moreau does have a resurrection spell and a spell slot available to resurrect him now if you so wish. And I've basically asked what is everybody else doing for the remainder of this day. So if you have any RP or thoughts, do tell.
I'm still going through the list.
Oh yeah, Tia is trying to scavenge the magical items that were blown off the other two towers from the city below.
Good shout.
Lila, are you doing okay? That was kind of a big thing you did there.
I don't. That's a loaded question, really. Pass? I don't know how I'm doing. I feel kind of numb, to be honest with you. There was a lot of rage and hatred and strong emotions for a long time, and now I've finally got what I wanted, and yet I guess the end points and beginning points changed in the middle of it all, and now I'm she caused so much pain and hurt and suffering needlessly, and yet she said she was my sister, but you don't treat family the way like that. If it is true, she killed our parents in the assault just to get me, and I guess she stopped being my sister a very long time ago. You know, you don't just get a free pass just because you're family. But I never really had a chance to know my family because of her, and yet I did know my family because she may be my family. And Lila's just saying all of this while, like, not looking at you, she's just staring at Lelalia's corpse and just kind of playing with her hands and looking as the kind of the sunlight glints off the stained glass sword that's, still impaled in Lelalia's head or through her head.
There's a saying from where I'm from, is that the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. And it means that the bonds that we choose are far more significant than those with what we may call our family. And although you may have lost a kin of yours today, you have all of us to stand by your side. And I have met many people like you, Lila, where they have had everything taken away from them. You have been through so much loss, and it wasn't your fault. But you have a choice now, a fork from which you can either go down a path of hatred, revenge, and rumination and everything that Lelia did. But you have already spent so much of your life doing that. Don't you want to take the other path and be free of it? Like a butterfly, finally.
Also, I don't quite understand what's... I'm not free of it because I should be. And Matt, Lila will put her hand up to where the brand is that Teffel tattooed over. Is it still there? Can I still feel it? Like, like the odd bit of pain that's kind of still there from the magical brand.
You concentrate for a second and... No. While you're unsure whether there will be a physical brand still there, that magical anchor that she had in your cheek that you could always feel doesn't feel like it's there anymore.
And yet, she was my god. And I shouldn't still have this. Without her, I should not be able to still feel a divine pull. So I'm not free of her because she's still supplying me with my abilities, but she's dead.
But she was never truly a god, right? So
She was a demigod, so she still had the ability to do. That's why the sounds of magic and spells and shit from downstairs
spells and shit. Sorry.
stopped because she wasn't supplying that to them anymore. And yet, I still feel Like, I have those.
What if there was something behind them, like another force, perhaps? What
Well, I
if
mean,
that is what is fueling your power?
I mean, something had to make her into a demigod. Like, you don't just become. You don't just ascend. You know? Like, there's a. I don't think so, anyway. There's a. It's. I'm so confused about everything. Everything that I thought that I knew isn't quite right.
There will be time for answers. Sometimes you just have to learn to feel what it is you are feeling first, and then try to understand it after.
I think you're right, Lavender. I think I just need to think and sit for a bit, if you don't mind.
Of course, I'll leave you be, and we will be here when you need us.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Actually, could you just do one thing for me?
Anything. What do you need?
This was around her neck, and Lila will produce this. Did you say it was, like, old and scuffed, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, this, like, raggedy ass looking symbol of Silver Mist. Can you see if there's a magical feel to this?
Of course. I shall drop a detect magic.
There is nothing magical about it.
It is not magical at all, but can Lavender make a check on, I think this is the right word, on the iconography of the symbol to see if there is any kind of hidden or familiar symbols that are within it?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Sure. May I have guidance?
Sure.
Cool. Sorry, I had to reload. Right, investigation. Plus a d4, right?
Yeah.
23 with minus.
So you can tell that the symbolism is the same as you've seen all around those who have these symbols of the faith. However, you can tell that not only is this old and scuffed, it seems a lot more handmade by someone who didn't quite know what they were doing. And looking at the colours involved in it and the original shape of it, it kind of looks to you as if this was an early attempt at a symbol of Eulalia. The base amulet seems to be one of a mutilated amulet of Shah that has been
Wait a minute.
and changed.
She'll suddenly snatch the amulet as she realizes this is an early recreation of the Silver Mist symbol. But if you look here, it has the symbol of Shar. It is not the same and not obvious, but look, it's definitely that.
What?
Well, this is what I mean. Perhaps, like you say, in like Like we've been theorizing, perhaps it was she was propped up by her somehow, by Shar herself. Wait, didn't Shar say to you that she needed you for something?
Shar's a greater deity. She doesn't need a mortal for anything, but
But you're a silver mist, right?
I mean, apparently, we can't confirm or deny if the lady was lying about that.
This makes no sense, but of course if she was trying to hide the fact that she perhaps was not a god, and was trying to hide her lack of divinity, but this whole story that she spun about Shar, I was always trying to figure out what she did to her, what Shar was, what grudge she held against Shar. Perhaps it was Shar that gave her this power.
But that would make no sense because in this shit, and Lila will pull out her book of Silver Mist. Why would a greater deity like Shar allow the lady to profess the fact that she was strong enough to defend against her and her forces, and then them just both come to the conclusion of we need to stop fighting? What? Hang on a minute. And Lila will reach out for the symbol that you're holding and try and take it off you.
Yeah, she'll give it you back.
Cool. So I'll take the symbol of Sharmat, and I'll take my shard of the Shadowfell and like put it on top of it. And then Lila will put her hand out towards you, Lavender, and go, "Can I have the other one a minute?"
The other one? Do I have another one?
You've got the other shard of the Shadowfell, right?
Oh, sorry, sorry, I thought you were asking for another silver mist. Sorry, another symbol of silver mist.
Another
Yeah.
silver mist? Do I have
no, another one.
sister?
Yeah, she'll hold it out.
Okay, I'll take it off you, and I'll hold that one in one hand, and I'll hold the symbol with the shard of the Shadowfell in the other, and I'll just kind of look at Lavender and just go, well, I mean, ways not, what not, I suppose. Employment opportunities. And I'll close my eyes, Matt, and I will attempt to pray to Shah, holding all this shit.
Okay.
Night Singer, Lady of Loss, Shah. It's over. It's done. She's dead. By my hand. She said before she passed that we were sisters. Her and I. Again, it could be a lie. But this would seem that she held some grudge against you for some reason. And her symbol of silver mist was a defaced amulet of you. You said to come to you when it was all done. I'm coming to you now. What is it that you wanted from me? Are you even out there, even listening?
You stand there with these symbols in your hand. The silence of the city echoing around you, the wind rustling your hair. You get no reply.
Nope. Well, here's this one, and I'll hand you Hunter's shard back. Well, nothing. Once again, absolutely nothing.
This is what I'm saying, Lila. Perhaps now is not the time to pursue the dark.
It's just... And Lila will pick up the Book of Silver Mist off the ground, but she'll pocket the shard, and then she'll just sit back down again, just utterly defeated, emotionally broken. Bonus action, existential crisis, and we'll begin to go through the Book of Silver Mist, trying more intently, but from a different perspective of now with this information, to try and see if there's something hidden in plain sight in all of it, because knowing what she now knows about the Lavia, she thinks that she's sneaky and all this stuff, and she'll just go deep into thought and just go silent and just try to look through things and think and shit. She's just gonna sit again on the floor and just go silent.
Okay. Moreau and Eve, are you doing anything for the remainder up on this tower immediately after the fight and for the remainder of the day?
I guess helping with the cleanup effort, obviously, but also being really, 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 really sad. Obviously, because we've lost a lot of people, because everything's really, obviously, happy that we've stopped everything from kind of collapsing into dust. But really, really sad because her friend's gone. So she'll assist, obviously, but be a bit of a shadow of her former self, because she kind of feels like a part of her soul is kind of gone with the lack of her faithful mount and her friend that kind of saw her through. And when she's not kind of helping out with stuff, just generally being quiet and assisting and basically just tending to the corpse and looking after it.
Okay.
Fangle, I suppose, would be doing obviously similar stuff, not caring obviously about most of the dead because it's Fangle, but trying his best to kind of gather the dead, look around the city, assist where he can, that kind of thing, and keep an eye out for Autumn to see how she's impacted. Obviously in the major streets, there's a lot of aftermath, so he's not got any healing skills, but I guess he'd try and mend what he can, supply what powers he can to kind of support the people who are struggling, who are cold, who can't manage themselves, that kind of thing. Is there anything else you can think of? Does that kind of cover it?
It basically does. From what you guys can see up on top of the tower, Autumn is kind of taking charge. There is a boldness amongst all of these members of this group. You even see Egris from time to time step up and interrupt people and begin pointing and giving direction. Not with the same posture that someone as intelligent as Thrall would do or as cocky as Rakeen, but there is clearly authority every time that little kobold begins to get involved in the groups of forces being organized and citizens being taken out of the area, etc., etc. Moreau?
Yeah, so I think Moreau is kind of drained in many ways. He is gonna kind of sit there cross-legged. His coat's off, his hat's off. He's just kind of sit there in his waistcoat. His sleeves are all rolled up, and he just takes his eye patch off and just sits there. And is it sunny?
It is, yes. There is still the odd cloud in the sky, but for the most part, it has cleared since Lelalia was slain.
Yeah, I think he's just kind of just exhausted. I think because the old man in him is kind of like, "Fuck me, we got cut." Half can't believe he got through it. He's kind of sat there, just legs out, just sitting there. Takes a small hip flask from his waist and downs a bit of alcohol and just sits and watches the sunset.
I think Ribbit would do something very similar, to be honest. I think the reason that he didn't go snoop on a Hunter and Lavender's tea session was because he was sat over here with his legs dangling over the edge, smoking a pipe, watching the chaos start quieting down and the rift slowly closing, sort of just pondering his journey, all the victories, all the bonds forged, and his powers gained, wondering if he'll even have these powers after the rifts close. And then if people start sort of shifting downstairs to assist with people, I think he'd be running around with the necklace, moving injured to hospitals.
Okay. Again, just to clarify, the small rifts have closed. Everything else is staying exactly the same.
Yeah, but he's still like forlorn. He's he's seen some of them close. That is scary enough.
Okay.
Hey, Rib.
I put my head in more rifts, man.
Hey, Rib. I've been
Yes.
picking up on some of your tricks. So two can play at your game now. And Lavender goes invisible. And
Oh,
she will do the ethereal plane, so she pops up somewhere else, pops back into reality, goes invisible again. Look what I can do.
We should play invisible hide and seek. We
That sounds like
start this
my
game.
one. Okay,
Please,
you
Lisa
first.
will feel so good. Okay, turns invisible.
1, 2. She leans over to Hunter. I just found a great way to get rid for a long time if we need it.
You all hear in your heads. You said finished counting it. You said finished.
54, 55.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Best day ever.
Those
Lavender
of you.
go on.
Go on. No, go on.
Lavender just turns to the rest of the group, and just as a final thing from her, she just says,
You know what's funny? How these things start and they end. All these moments still feel so fleeting in between. And I just want you all to know that when I was with you, although we nearly died several times and went through lots of horrifying, traumatic, and terrible decisions and events, it was still some of the best times of my life. And whatever we decide to do now, if our paths cross again, it is up to those we take. I hope that we leave time together across this multiverse, regardless.
You don't have to go, if you're happy here and you're comfortable with your friends. You're always welcome here. You don't have to leave.
I don't want to, but we might have to. We need to figure out what to do with all the objects. They can't all stay in one. But I know that we all have things we have to do here. We're not going to separate ourselves yet, I hope.
And Misa need not worry anyway. Misa can bring us all back together. Misa very sure. Even if Misa rifts close up. Misa rift rug. So Misa sure Misa can do it. Misa will work it out. Misa and Hunter have done worse before. Misa will find a way.
Or he
I
said.
certainly hope so.
Also, Misa
Careful,
sure
what
that
about
Hunter's
these
groin
weapons?
will drag us across dimensions. So Misa sure Misa will find a way. Misa very sure.
Like a dowsing rod. Fucking hell.
The
Neville, how about these tattoos?
Yeah. Well, I mean, only willing participants, of course. Have we agreed on a design? Red might not show up on some of us, and I'll look at Ribib and myself.
Can't you make them glow? Like if they're glowing red, they might.
I don't
Ooh.
have red. I don't have red ink. I have red ink, but I don't have the glowing component for red.
Would blood
But I
work?
could try to mix some. I did use blood in Lila's tattoo. Seemed to
think
give
you guys-
it magical properties.
I think you
Misa
guys
can go
should-
looting if you need. Wisa can find everything.
I can't think of a more appropriate tattoo. Yeah, I mean, I know red isn't necessarily practical, but I think it's the right thing.
Well, if we can find the component, I'm all for it. And Tefel will already take out the implement that Tia made them and begin to secure it around their wrist and hand with the tattoo needle attached. We might have to go down below where Tia was looking for the magical items and see what's left.
Okie dokie! And Ribbit starts sprinting down the stairs.
I'd say with the rest of you, if you wish to follow Ribbit down towards the city, both for the sake of brevity and because it's Ribbit and he could steal some potions from an exploding shop, I'd say that by the time you reach the bottom with his speed, he will have found you the ingredients you need for this tattoo.
These are what you said need. These are the things.
That was fast.
These are looked right.
And
Blink, blink.
will take the little vials and in disbelief. This is exactly what I was looking for.
The only signs that Ribbit has been anywhere is some very weird bite marks in the top of his shoulder. That's all.
Did you?
That was an
anger
interesting
someone?
sentence. Misa always angers someone. Misa not sure Misa noticed though. Misa feel fine.
We could have paid for these components.
These are much faster. Misa paid by killing Lilalia. Misa paid big time. Also, Misa steal from many different shops, so they said not steal much money, lose much money. Misa did leave a bronze, but that's all Misa had left.
It sounds like you want to be my first customer. And Tefel will pull over something. I don't know what on this platform. In fact, I'll just prop you up over here, on this stone plinth or whatever it is.
Put me down like a baby. Ribbit will take off his kimono and tie it around his waist and say, "Hey, can you do Misa back? Misa, this will be Misa's third Tefel tattoo, so Misa think we should go big this time."
Oh, what a canvas! So I just see this very slippery, amphibious back.
Ribbit starts wiping his back with his kimono.
Maybe I should wear some gloves. Tia, do you have those gloves still?
Am I with them at the moment, Matt?
Well, what Tia made me is kind of like a glove anyway.
Yeah.
So
You're in and
I'll
around
just
the
be
same area,
careful.
so you'd be able to catch them on one of your passes by anyway.
Okay,
to hand them off.
I'll hand off the gloves of thievery, so it was a plus dex.
Ooh.
Or to the sleight of hand.
Okay. Please just describe to me who is getting a tattoo and where they're getting it.
Hands in chat.
Nice.
It's plus 5
Lavender's on
to
her
the
wrist.
dex roll, and I'll also, after I have found the magical items, I will, for the next hour, cast the spell. Sorry, I'm trying to find things. Oh, this is a spell for Igris. Hang on. Enhance ability on Tefel.
Excellent.
For the dexterity checks.
Cool. I'm not going to
Okay,
ask for
great.
any checks.
Cool.
I'm not going to ask for any checks.
Yeah, imagine if she got a nat 1 on this one.
He said, "Look good, right?"
With you all supporting in these various ways, I'm going to say they all turn out pretty damn good. Especially with all the practice Tefl has been getting recently.
And, you know, the rifts in the sky. For reference.
Well, yeah, plenty of reference images around. Moreau, was there anything else you were doing as part of this day? I will say, given you were kind of taking that step back with Ribbit before, when there was that invisible, like blinking in and out going on, invisible tag, you did see just every now and again the odd flutter of magical energy like wisp off those playing and up into the sky and into some of the rifts. But go on, what are you doing with the rest of your day?
Think he's gonna again. He's gonna take it very easy. To be honest, he's not. He'll probably wander downstairs at some point, and he'll get out a piece of paper and he'll write a note, and he'll seal it up with a seal, whatever he can find. He'll find a bottle of wine. He'll probably just want to sit and just watch the sunset on Taro on the prime material. I think part of Moreau's felt for a very long time he's not getting out of this one way or another. And he's trying to savor every last second that he is on the prime material. He would probably, again, just look at this, he would ask if anyone needed resurrecting and would probably try and resurrect Vigil when there was a moment there.
Okay.
So he'd certainly be asking for spell components to.
And do you guys have the diamond requirement still?
Misa, go!
Somebody.
Rubik starts running.
If you're just ransacking shops in the aftermath of this onslaught, then yeah, you would be able to find the diamond component.
I bring 2. If I can find 2, I bring 2. If not, I will only take
Still
1.
have some left.
It's Ribbit's already gone. Like, I will say, because this is not a revivify, there will be a resurrection ritual involved. So, is there anyone that would like to contribute to that resurrection ritual?
I would like to.
Okay, what are you doing?
I would like to remind. Vigil is the first one we're resurrecting, or is it the different one?
Vigil is the one Moreau's resurrecting now, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I would like to remind of his bravery and the ways that he have brought us together despite against his own will. He shall live as a legend of a person amongst the fear. and wish that he will live on as he's few that contributed despite
Okay.
everything that's going on.
Give me a persuasion check. Here.
Yes, just opening D20 for some reason closed, so.
Oh, okay. Tefel, if you want to make a tattoo, your contribution to this ritual, you can if you want.
How can I blag this? Right. Because Tefel is, putting kind of their heart and soul into everyone's lightning tattoos and imbuing them with this like glowing magical effect. They'll kneel by Vigil and just make like a very small lightning bolt, like on his, let's say, like on his inner arm somewhere. And they will be channeling this energy to try to aid putting life back into his veins. Like the red of the ink, trying to actually fill his veins with it, as well as the energy from the rest of the group that these tattoos represent.
Awesome. Can you give me a performance check, please?
I will get a +2 to this. Oh, no, I won't, because it's charisma. Oh boy. Hey! 17.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Does anyone else want to do the third contribution to this ritual?
Having been through it once and a part of it another time, can Lavender use her like arcane knowledge of various different rituals, her experience from being in one, and just basically offer any magical assistance needed?
Okay. Altering minute parts of the ritual, making sure it's perfect the whole time. Can you give me an Arcana check, please?
Sure. $12.
Okay. I'm gonna roll this in D20. Okay. The ritual proceeds. Vigil's body rises from the ground, and you all will him to return back to you. Oh.
Oh.
What? Oh no.
Unfortunately, despite your pleas, this time the magic just doesn't seem to grip. It doesn't seem to take hold and can't quite pull the soul back into the body. The ritual fails. It fades away, and as the light fades, Vigil looks peaceful, but remains dead.
We need to make sure that Vigil and Malcolm are remembered for their part in it.
Definitely.
I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say we have to make sure.
How should we
he's
do
dead.
it? Give me a funeral in town.
But beyond that, we should maybe petition. Is it
The Lord of Waterdeep? I don't know who it would be to
Last
contact.
Lord, isn't it? Last Lord of Waterdeep? The Open Lord? Was that Silver?
Anyway, whoever we need to speak to, they should be told and they should be commemorated, perhaps, some way.
As the sun is beginning to set, and you're taking this moment of contemplation and planning, the ground once again shakes beneath your feet, and the rifts above once again pulse, giving it a blood red hue to all of the sky, not just towards the setting sun.
Do you think that's what we need to do? We need to cause the other break.
We can wait for time to heal it. That's always an option.
Yeah, I think the universe is telling we're running out of time.
Yeah, when I saw those wisps fly off them into the rifts early when they were playing that game of Invisible Tag, did I get an understanding of maybe that was like sucking some of the energy out and into the rift so that it would close, or that it kind of doing the opposite?
Give me an Arcana check.
Can I assist?
You can.
21. 21. In fact, I'll burn a knowledge from a past life as well to get a D6 bonus.
Okay. If T is assisting, it's also advantage.
Excellent. But again, no, that was less. That was 16. Just find a D6 on. I'll roll the D6 on. 2 for a 23.
If anything, given what you've seen, it's the opposite. The magical energy is likely increasing the rapid deterioration. It's increasing the problem. As you got over 20, I will also say that this is likely happening the world over. But also as the rifts themselves are, you know them to be the raw magic of creation. As this problem accelerates, it is likely that less and less is going to cause more and more of a problem.
I'll mention it because I'm trying to think who it was who said it. Was it? I think it was Tia who said. I think you're right, Tia. This is just going to get worse if we keep using magic. It's going to accelerate a problem that's already there. I think Chrono Break's probably the only way to fix this, or we just stop using magic.
What if it erases some of us? Will it be like we never existed?
I think I read in a book somewhere that things can't just be created or destroyed, they just pass from one form to another. I guess there'll be another part of us in somewhere in another reality.
I think you're right, Lavender. What you said before. I think we have to replace what was. Go back to our own worlds. I don't want to lose you guys. It's selfish, but I can't help it. It feels like you're a part of me. It wouldn't be the same you not being here.
We don't know that is for sure. We might put these things together and all stay in the same place. But equally, we might end up apart, not even remembering things really went down. But at least we know now that we did them.
I don't know how we can't remember. There's so much.
What if we write it down?
In like a...
I'll always have this, and Lavender like holds up her automatic. I wrote so much down.
Or have an almanac at each reality. So remember, we can look back at the events that happened.
We could call it a Sundering in Silver.
By Frodo Baggins.
Okay.
No,
Be
that's pretty
fair.
catchy, Ruda.
I agree.
Are we doing this?
I don't think we've got a choice.
I don't think we have a choice either. As unfair as it is.
Okay. Well, let's take one last look at each other. And Lavender will kind of direct everybody to get together in a circle. Standing next to Hunter, she'll take his hand and she will say, if we do end up not being in the same place, pick a good star for me, okay? You never know. I might be out there looking to the same one.
I'm just the one.
She'll take out the shard that she has and hold it in the center.
Lila will stand up and just kind of let the original shard of symbol of silver mist on the floor, and book of silver mist as well, and just kind of looking around at everybody. She'll just go, she was right then, I guess. And I guess if we could have just poked her out of it, I didn't need to kill her.
I don't think there was any talking her out of it.
But in that book that you read, that has all this Chrono Break stuff in it, stuff can be rewritten, right? Like we can change the past, like with this, right? And like there are tears in her eyes now. Like if we do this, we could rewrite it so none of this ever happened, right? Because people aren't born evil. Like something had to have happened to her to turn her into what she became, right? Like I could have my family and my sister back. And while it was great knowing all of you, and it's been a pleasure, I think that if we could do it somehow, I'd like to do it all over a different way.
There's many paths to many different endings. Maybe in one ending you had a good one. One where everything worked out as it should have done, and you had the family you deserved. I'm sorry that you ended up here, that happened. You deserve happiness as much as anybody else does, if that's what you want to do.
perhaps this is just another beginning.
Hey, Tefel?
Yes, Tia.
I'm not sure how weird this looks like, but here's a ring I found. And I would like to give a ring of protection to Tefel.
Tefel will just clutch the ring to their chest. I thank you. I'm not sure what it does, but after my brief stay on the other side, this gives me a warming feeling.
Lavender will pass her shard to Hunter. She'll say,
I think that it seemed to. It's the magical signal seemed to sing when you held it, so perhaps this needs to be you.
I will take them.
Here, would love to take out a potato, label it as test number 3.
Right.
Will put on his coat and his hat and his eye patch again and stand around the circle. It's been a pleasure knowing you all. I don't think I've ever had friends before. Not real ones, anyway.
Well,
Certainly
you
no
do.
one who missed me when I've gone. But thank you. Thank you all. A lot of doors out there. Maybe we'll one day we'll all walk through the right one at the right time.
Wherever we end up, it's been an honor, Mr. Moreau.
Same
Thank
to
you
Miss
so
Eve.
much. Thank you so much for everything.
Those of you who
We
have
sell-
the shard. Go on.
Misa was just going to say, we said we'll see each other again. You, sir, do not have to worry about this, sir. Misa know it.
Ribbit, before you go, thank you for saving my life. Thank you for coming to help me. Thank you for everything.
Misa could never forgive Misa self if Misa let you, sir, go.
I'll never forget you. I hope you know that.
Misa, you, sir, either.
Oh. Before anything happens, I'd like to put this into your memory. And I will take out a small stone-like tablet and use magical tinkering to encarve this group into that stone with the memories.
Those of you who have these shards, what are you doing?
Lila will look at the one in Hunter's hand and the one in mine, and Lila will again just look at you all individually and go, I don't know how all this is going to play out, but I don't know how all of this works, but I'm not just being selfish for me. There are so many people in the faith that are just misguided people, and it truly has been an honour knowing and standing by all of you and doing what we did. But if there's any way in all of this that I can, I'm gonna try to rewrite it all based on the Silver Mist side.
We know you will. We
There'd be
know.
some other world-ending threat that you all came together and you all had the same experiences as you did, and you stopped it, and you did great. But not just for me, but for all of the people that she's hurt, and for all of the people that we've all hurt in the faith, and all of the people in there that were just fooled and duped by it all and weren't really zealous about it all. And I will never forget, at least try to, all of you, but it's really been a pleasure.
Lila, and Eve will touch you on the shoulder if you let her, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, she's nothing left. She's just an emotional wreck right now. As is Liam.
They could have no greater champion, and you know that. You are the advocate. You are the one who saw the light. You knew it wasn't right, and you fought and you won. You could do it again everywhere. You have to do it again everywhere, because you know it's not going to stop unless you do something. And it's only you that can do it. It's only you.
And then Lila will look at Hunter and hold her shard out towards him.
Upon seeing that, Hunter will look down at Ribbit and go, I know you didn't get your chance to do your explosion-y stuff, my friend. Maybe you would like the honors in case, you might be responsible for the biggest one yet. And I'll just hand over the shard.
Ribbit's eyes have never been wider. As he slowly, very, very proudly, like he's marching up to accept an award, marches over and takes the shard from you.
Final totem pole. We set all Void Boys in the end.
And he holds up his shard.
I don't know what we do with the shards.
Lila,
Don't just there for that bit.
Lila
I wasn't
will
there for that bit.
put it. Lila will connect them.
As you begin pushing them together, there is a bit of resistance and pushback, but green arcs begin zapping between the two, bolts of energy. The rift in the sky, the ground itself, it all begins to shake. As they get closer and closer together, the shaking intensifies until, as they touch, it's almost like they immediately stick. And rather than holding them together, they're more slowly sinking into one another. An epic boom rings out from all around you. You guys are barely able to stand on your feet, but as you watch on, these shards rise up between you all, and that green energy becomes an arc between all of you. Can I have a group arcana check, please?
Sorry, guys. This could be our last roll, guys. It's fucking Arcana.
Oh my god.
Not advantage. Boop. That's a number.
I would
Nah, Chris, you rolled a d6.
No, he's rolled his arcana further up.
I would like to add a flash of genius to mine. Make it 30.
Okay,
23.
cool.
33.
Amazing.
Dirty 20 total.
Okay. As they arc this energy between you all, you can see up in the sky above the rifts become brighter, but not with that crimson red. They all seem to be taking on an outline of bright green, and that same energy begins to arc between them all. From the other side of them, you can begin to see other worlds closing down, pushing down closer and closer to those portals as you see them begin to close. One by one, slowly at first and then quicker. And as they do, and these shards get closer and closer, fusing closer and closer into one between you all, there's a glowing bright light that begins to almost blind you from the middle. As it grows brighter and brighter, this energy flows between you all like a conduit between these shards. The world shakes around you and everything begins to go quiet and bright. You all take one last look at each other. And with all the words said, and those emotions ringing out, the bright light consumes you all, and everything goes dark. I'm gonna read out a few things, one by one, and then afterwards I will ask you guys for an input. Eve. It is warm. The sun is blazing down and sweat is dripping from your brow as Sunny is approaching you, arms raised, smile on their face, and tea in their hand. You can tell this is your university. It's even better than you remember it, even bigger, in even better condition. You can hear more animals around you, you can see more students. You can tell that Sunny is talking to you, congratulating you about your defeat of Lelalia. He's heard the stories, it's clearly been at least a few days. But you're not really listening, as you can tell that you do remember it all. There's no mention of the bright light of the rifts closing from Sunny. Maybe he doesn't remember that. Maybe no one does but you. But he remembers. You were the heroes, you saved the day, and now you're here. Back with your friend. You feel a little nuzzle. Down to your right, Champion is there, nuzzling up against your leg, smile on his face, and almost a knowing look in his eye. Maybe he remembers too. Bayek, you're in a very similar situation. But it's busy here, the streets are bustling, it takes you a moment to adjust your senses from that bright flash. You're in Silvery Moon. The streets are busy once again. There are signs of an attack, but the population is booming. And more importantly, as you begin to take this in, this multitude of senses begins to overwhelm you. You hear something far more important. Echoing from behind you, there is a distinct sound of children laughing. As you turn, you instinctively enter that Silvery Moon orphanage, and you see stood in the center of the house three figures who immediately smile at you, congratulating you with knowing smiles. Dimitri and his two daughters applauding once again your heroics. But that gets instantly washed away as two thumps hit you from either side as Jarkin and Millie welcome you back home. Tia, you have a big hand on your shoulder. It's darker here. There's a lot of cleanup work going on. As you find yourself back at Candlekeep. Big sister leaning down saying, "Test number 3? Oh, where were the other 2? I thought you tested with some more intricate things than vegetables, but, well. Egris told me he was going to help you. I see that he did." Hunter and Ribbip, you are stood on a dirt path. You hear that hum of your ship floating behind you, and a sign stands in front of you. "Welcome to Phandalin." Only Phandalin has been graffitied and crossed out, with Crater's Edge sprawled in very unneat handwriting above. Looking on past it, you see Phandalin or Crater's Edge. It doesn't really matter, as stood in the town square, chatting and looking a bit confused, you see Pars and Seal. And when they see you guys, they instantly turn on their heels and begin jogging down the path, instantly spewing out all sorts of tales, both of their doing and questions about yours, about how you saved the day once again. Only this time, you dickheads did it without them. How dare you? Moreau, you find yourself back in the yawning portal, having a drink, looking around, checking out all the adventurers that fill this bar. Hey, there's adventurers filling this bar. That's a good sign. You're still on the prime material. And for a moment you have that sense of relief that maybe you don't have to go back, not yet. You look over to one of the storage rooms that's nearby your table, and almost on cue, from behind the door, echoing somewhere in the distance, you hear the cry of a hound once again. Teffel, you wake in your bed. You know this bed, though you haven't slept in it in such a long time. Following instinct and curiosity, you make your way outside, and there you see it. You see your village. You see people you know. They look back at you as if they don't know you. That look that Dragonborn give to outsiders. You feel welcome. But there is that disconnect there. But at the end of the day, this is your village. It's in one piece, and those you can see, they're alive. Fog finds herself in Waterdeep, staring up at 3 towers that now decorate the city. She can clearly see that again it's been a few days, but the rifts are gone. The city looks basically the same as she remembers. And Thog being Thog, there's a knowing nod and a sigh of a job well done. As she turns to walk back towards Blackstaff Tower, towards the docks, she doesn't really know at this particular moment. She spins on her heels and collides with a woman walking out of a shop carrying piles of elaborate dresses and hats in boxes that go scattering all over the floor. Immediate apologies are exchanged as both individuals go to start picking up the dropped belongings. Until halfway through, with the apologies spewing, Thog recognizes the voice. Looking up, there is a very elegantly dressed but dainty Limvala. Not a sign of brutality or a fighter in her, staring back at Thog with that glint in her eye and a nice little smile. Lavender, you're back where you remember. A quiet little village along the Sword Coast. Nothing out of the ordinary about it. Mushroom in your hands. You remember this is where you came through. This is the first place that you entered this world. Behind you there is the static hum of a flickering rift, barely holding itself together. And here you are at the edge. To step through into one or to stay in another. There is that moment of pause. Lila. There is a sea breeze that rolls through your hair. You're atop a very tall cliff. Green grass rolls through the fields around you, the odd tree dotting here and there. But it is picturesque. There is a town a couple of miles away that you can see, but no tracks to get there, just more rolling fields. You sit peacefully on your knees. As the daze clears and you gather your surroundings, you find yourself still holding the Lelia, still lifeless, slightly smaller than you, and now looking helpless in your arms. Looking up, you notice in front of you a small gravestone. Very well kept, but not too elaborate. It rests just closer to the cliff, overlooking the view ahead. Notably, you recognize the handwriting on it, though. That handwriting, as you read it, there is some joy to be had, but also more pain in your heart. Writing her own name in her own hand, Saphara's name graces the tombstone. Still gone. But there are no myths in sight. Each of you comes to realize that while you remember the chrono break, nobody else seems to. But they all remember you. Names of heroes, of legends now. But these stories aren't over. So, if one by one you would like to tell me what your character does over the next few days and weeks, and what their intentions would be for the months and years ahead. If anyone is actually capable of speaking, that is.
I'll
Yeah,
go.
one at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, let's. I can go in order of what I said. So Eve would be up first.
Eve will begin by hugging both Sunny and Champion, like completely without abandon, and start crying, not believing what she's seeing, not believing that this could be real. What does it look like in Schultz at the moment? Is it decaying? Is it lush? Is it verdant? What's it looking like?
You have never seen it so vibrant. You can feel both that air of disease that Rasnasi forced upon the jungle and the instability of the rifts that compounded that problem. Both have been washed away, and now there is just life teeming everywhere.
First things first, because it's Eve, she'd like to speak with animals and talk to Champion and just go, "You're here! How can you possibly be here? I thought you were gone. I can't believe you're here."
I was, and then I was not. Yes. Beardman says hello.
So glad. I just didn't think that I'd ever get to talk to you again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what happened. I'm just so glad that you're here now. And I promise I'll make sure that that never happens again. And I'll make sure that I keep you safe. Thank you for being there with me during that time. I couldn't have done it without you being there with me. You kept me brave. You gave me a friend when I needed it.
Always friend. Always need. She was not nice.
No. And as painful as it was, because she was a friend to me too. We had to stop her. We had to do what we did. We couldn't let it go on. But I'm never going to forget her either. I'm never going to forget any of them. I hope I see them again soon.
We will. They give me pets.
I'm gonna make sure you get all the pets. I'll make sure the undergraduates look after you. I'll make sure you get all the chickens. You can give them rides if you want to. You're the best racer in the entirety of the Schultz circuit. You're a legend out there.
Hell yeah.
Eve laughs, obviously, and hugs Sunny and says, "I'm glad that you're okay too. I didn't know what had happened in Chult when I was gone. I was frightened to leave you behind. I knew you were capable. I knew you could protect everything here, and you were capable of looking after yourself, but it was frightening. I didn't think we were going to make it. But we did. We did, and we're okay. We're really okay."
Sonny will employ you to tell him all about it and invite you inside for a nice meal, cooked to the best of his abilities.
How do you know I felt like fried alligator?
And every time you start to get a bit teary telling him about the stories, he'll distract you with tales of new ingredients he's found and new recipes he's going to be putting together for his second book.
Eve will obviously eat along and nod very happily again, hardly believing she's here, hardly believing what's happening. And as the time goes on and she feels the urge to rest, before she tucks in, she'll touch her bow and get on one knee and just sit for a while, thinking of Abteo. And just under her breath, she'll say, "Thank you. Thank you for everything." I don't know whether you can hear me, but you also help give me strength to take this through. You helped me be brave, and you believed in me. Thank you for bringing hope back to the world, bringing hope back to Chult when we needed it so desperately. You're truly worthy of worship, and I'm so proud to serve you.
There is no reply as such, but you do feel a knowing breeze wash through the canopy and through the jungle floor, almost as if replying to you and trying to comfort you.
Eve will, before she turns in for the night, take the mushroom out of her bag, plant him in a safe place in the university grounds, fenced off. Cass speak with plant and say, "We're in a safe place now. Please take root here. I'll come and talk to you every day. Make some friends. Like you could not have any more plant life in the entirety of Faerun. Toril, even. Go ahead, spread out. You'll be appreciated here, and they'll know what you did for all of us. We couldn't have done it without you either."
This is the mushroom, yeah?
Yes.
He will simply reply, "I will tell them all of your glory and subjugate them in your name.
No, just be nice. Just be nice. Be friendly.
Nicely subjugate them in your name."
Okay, just be nice. Make some friends out there, and tell me. And while you're there, keep an eye out in the jungle. It's a dangerous place. There's dangerous things that happen.
Yes.
I want to hear about all of it in case I need to go out there again. Okay? You're my eyes, metaphorically speaking.
If ever I frantically wiggle, it means something is up.
I'll bear that in mind.
Bears? Where?
She'll just like laugh and pat him.
Okay.
And then as she goes inside, in the years that follow, she'll do her research quietly with all love around her and the peace and the joy. But before she goes to sleep that night, she'll take off that necklace of Wanty teeth and hang it on the wall to be there forever, to be looked at but never touched again, as a symbol that she's finished.
Okay. Dayak in Silvery Moon. Over the next few days, weeks, what's Dayak doing? And what is his intentions over the next few months and years?
Dave will spend the first few days catching up with Yagna Millie. Them being kids will probably ask all the super adventurous questions that Dave is not going to indulge because they're still young. Instead, we'll talk about how nothing gory happened and it was all sunshine and rainbows at the end. In the meantime, he will help around town, hopefully rebuild. Send some reports to the higher ups in town about the events. Tell them honestly Master Bayron's role in everything, which was fuck all. And After a while, travel to Cholt, because he promised to make Eve a sort of contraption, which he doesn't know that Champion has passed, or rather is back. But he did promise to make her one, or at least one as close as possible to what Riverton Hunter had. And after that, he will, in fact, not go back to Silvery Moon, but he will follow any news, any reports that would potentially help him find where Lila is.
Okay. Tia, back at the university, back at Candlekeep, with Big Sister, and I'm sure Egris soon after. The next few days and weeks, what is Tia doing, and what are their intentions over the next few months and years?
I can't believe I'm back. I don't know how long it has been, but it's good to be back. And it's nice to see that this place is still as it is. I thank you, Big Sister. I really wanted to see you for a very long time. You went to search for your ancestors, and seems like you did find them. Igrish, don't ever get lost again, please. It's very hard and induces a lot of anxiety.
As she gives Igris a deadlock, like sister and brother relationship. She will pull out her diary, documenting all the things before the chrono break, what has happened during the whole adventure, detailed on each individual's married day life and everything that has happened.
I guess I don't need this anymore. I would donate this to the academics library so everyone can enjoy and know what has truly happened.
For the next weeks and months to come by, she will first like to create a bunch of tiny servants to help any repairing factory to create magical items, to make the money flow again to the orphanage, so now that it can be upgraded to a house, a place that no longer just can be called an orphanage, but a place that will be filled with prosperity. No more hungry days, looking after each different children, and occasionally travel with that workshop, the mobile one, with tiny servants looking for knowledge, things, but with the whole family. Being a merchant and visiting friends from time to time, whenever the teleportation cube starts, she will go find each and every friend from different parts of the world and go for a fun activity and drinks perhaps. He feels glad, safe, that Big Sis is finally with them, that they have found their purpose and is back together. Occasionally playing as a mariachi band and bringing chaos to the world where the Tiamat name rings, mainly for short-handed, than Nefertia, Igris, and many other kobold siblings' names. As the world comes to an end, the years of plans to crafting items, selling them, helping others achieving their dream. She would like to continue that and meet their friends with a new purpose in mind.
Okay. Void Boys.
Well, that was a journey and a half, my guy.
Misa survived. Misa do not believe it.
Yusa died, but you know we were brought back.
Misa dies several times. These are fine. Don't you so worry.
Just
Also,
to
friends,
gauge.
you are alive.
Yeah. How are you both doing?
Woolulu. Good Woolulu.
Yeah, they are great, but they are confused about what happened. The last thing they remember is hurtling towards city streets, and now they were here. And their town is back in one piece, but named wrong.
Named correctly.
Yes. They would definitely recount all the tales with the boys. Now we've been reunited. And I think one of the first things, I mean, Rivet kind of has like 3 life things he wants to do. I think the first one he wants to do though is just to check: was everyone from the Sundering Silver reality, or were some people from different ones?
You know that Lavender was from a different one.
Would Lavender have given Hunter anything that might have originated in Lavender's reality? Blink, blink.
You tell me.
Because if Misa do, then Misa think Misa could take Misa there.
Oh no, unless the page from her notebook counts.
That counts.
Yay!
Because I was going to go with DNA.
That too.
Fuck me. Oh my god. Oh. Yes, this one will work better, Misa think.
Because you're not touching that.
Oh yes, Misa never. So anyway, yeah, and I would try and use my rift walking to make me, Hunter, and Seal and Powers trip absolutely nutsack for 20 minutes, and then hopefully take us to Lavender's reality.
My guy.
Ultimate wingman.
It takes you a while once you arrive at a destination to properly confirm it. But you do indeed end up in the World of the Cruel North campaign. I forget what Chris's world's name actually is because I'm not as well versed with that lore. Chris, if you want to enlighten us. Ethis,
You
that's
set the Void Boys on my world.
However, well, yes, but also don't worry, I'll make them leave. So yes, you can confirm it does work. If that's where you guys want to leave it, just exploring alternate worlds.
Well,
then...
I mean, because I was just gonna say, sort of, Rivet was only 2 sort of like long goals. First of all, he wants to meet up with everyone, so he's gonna continue using his ability to try and get an easy way for us to meet up. Midterm, if we can overthrow Glassstaff, that would be great. I'd really like that because fuck that guy. And then long term, Misa think that Wisa should hunt the Infinity Stones, and then Wisa should use the Infinity Stones to make a wish that Wisa all have the ability to communicate with each other and see each other whenever Wisa want. These gods can't be mad about that one.
The worst, best wish in the world.
In the worlds.
Just
In
at
the
the end of
world.
our bit, Hunter will write in his book of Farscribe to Lavender and say, we made it. We've actually come to see you. We're here in your reality. We just don't know where. And then, can reply on later on or whatever.
Yeah, we will have to find out whether there is someone there to receive the message.
Ooh.
Other than that, just to get a gauge of how much time has passed, if any, or what like this whole situation is, Hunter will just attempt to pull a card from his deck to see if it will work.
It does work in the other realities, yes.
I meant like pull it just to see if this dawn counts or like when what's gone on with the time.
We're not doing anything too specifically that way, but
Okay.
yes, it will work straight away.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Yeah.
Cool.
That's Wisa.
Teffel. What are you doing over the next few days and weeks?
I think Moreau was before me, but I'm happy to
Yeah, throw him a rope if you want.
to go.
I'll go after you, Teffel.
Okay. When Teffel awakes in their bed, they'll just like immediately try to find Dorian.
Dorian is right there with you.
And they'll like breathe a sigh of relief. As he like pulls Dorian in close. I'm glad you're here. I didn't think I'd feel so alone in my own village. It doesn't feel quite right here. And they'll begin to kind of like reconnect with the other villagers and see like what's gone on and if any family members are still here. But after a couple of days, Teffel will really start to miss the group and miss the adventuring days. And they'll start to try to use some of the profane soul magic to attempt to communicate across the miles and plains to make sure everyone else is okay out there. And then they'll probably pack up and leave with the idea in their mind that what they thought was a priority, which was, avenging the destruction of their entire town, has kind of now faded into the background, and what really mattered to them was the friendships and the new family that they had found. And they especially are thinking of Hunter's grand moment of saving their life, and they feel indebted to him. And yeah, Teffel will hit the road and keep reaching out with their mind to the rest of the Lightning Gang.
Okay. As you disappear over the rolling hills, leaving a village behind you, Dorian can't help but concur. Yeah, not gonna lie. I like having friends too. Can't wait to see them again.
Me too, Dorian. But for now, we'll keep each other company.
Hell yeah. Moreau, next few days and weeks, what are you doing? And what is Moreau's intentions over the next few months and years?
So I think as he sits in the yawning portal and hears that sound, whereas previously he's always reacted with fear and running, he just kind of calmly, because I imagine he's kind of sitting there, book in one hand, glass of wine in the other, puts the book down, puts the glass of wine down, straightens his coat, Zathan goes, "What do you got for me this time?" and gets ready to kind of walk out the door and face the world. I think he's always waiting to see what happens next. He now knows his life is not his own, and whatever bargain or deal he made with them to close the rifts, he is very aware that he is always in their power now, and he's kind of accepted it in a way that he didn't before. And whereas before he often resisted helping people or did it begrudgingly, he now does it quite willingly. He tries to see over the next few weeks and months and wherever he gets put by the dark powers, whether that be in Prime Material or in Barovia or in any of the other domains of dread. He sees where he came from and where his friends came from in terms of their adventuring in parties, that he tries to help them willingly without any agenda. As for what he's trying to achieve over the next few months and years, he is more intrigued about what he is now rather than finding a way out of the domains of dread. So he wants to find out what they meant by their firstborn. He's going to try and find out that. I think it depends. Does he end up back in the domains of dread? That's a question I kind of want to ask you, Matt.
The answer to that, we require a one shot to see what happens next.
Okay.
So we don't know. This is why I'm asking for intentions only.
Intentions? Yeah, he obviously doesn't want to go back if he has to, but he tries to help people. He wants to find out more about the dark powers. He wants to try what it means to be their firstborn. And those are his intentions. He kind of is no longer running. He's kind of that whole thing of meets death as a friend, so to speak. He's kind of his thing with the Master of Hounds now.
Okay. Thog, we will let Lewis get back to us. We know how it starts, but Lewis can tell us how it would carry on. So we will come back to that at a later date. Lavender, you're stood with this choice in front of you. Go back to Ethis or stay here. And that portal does not look like it would stay open forever. With Mushroom in hand, what are you doing over the next few days and weeks? And what are her intentions over the next few months and years?
So Lavender looks into the rift that shows this world that she came from, and there is a pang of nostalgia as she realizes that this is her last chance that she has to go back to Ethis, a world where she was lost for a long time, a world in which her mother and father were, but from which she was cast out and unwanted, and from which she has spent the last 5 years, 4 years, however long it's been since she stepped through, running and running from until she traversed the universe itself to find herself alone again on this other side of the rift. And she feels the ground of Faerun beneath her feet. And there's this sense of she closes her eyes and kind of breathes in the air, and she smells these sweet wildflowers that she sort of remembers how different they smell to the ones back at home. And that word in her mind, home, kind of sticks in her brain, and it doesn't feel right. And she thinks to herself, that isn't a home. That's not a place that ever accepted her. It was on this side of the rift where she found her friends. And she turns to the rift and stretches out her hand as if to say goodbye. And she just says to Mushroom, I think we'll stay here. My friends are here. I just have to find them. And I'm really good at finding people. And it's at that point that she looks down, or gets the message from Hunter, and she'll reply, I'm not going back to Ethis. My heart belongs in Faerun. Come find me in the world we met. And in a shroud of shadow, she disappears from view. And over the next few weeks, Lavender kind of takes herself back to what she knows best. The shadows, the night, the unknown. She fills her hours obsessively searching for snatches of information about her friend and following these indications across Faerun, blending into these different towns and picking different faces to change to. Kind of not even able to properly talk to Mushroom as much as she's grateful for his company. Like, every time it meows, it reminds her of Eve meowing as she spoke to Mushroom for her, and it's just giving her this motivation, this will to get back to these people who gave her so much. And she will spend the next few weeks and months looking for ways to get back to the Circle of Hell where Nith's soul is imprisoned. And she kind of busies herself finding these new leads, seeking ways to distract herself, because Lavender knows now that Hunter can visit, and I'm assuming that he does so over the next weeks as she's kind of preparing and finding more information to like get them back to Hell and sort of finalize her plan. But there are these moments where, you know, her understanding of how the spell works is it is just a visit, and there are these moments of time in between where she's just trying to like ignore the memory of seeing Hunter's face as she pulled him through into Hell for the first time. And on like the nights that he doesn't see her, she will spend them awake, never sleeping, just wishing on a star.
Okay. We might find out one day how those efforts were put to use in another one shot. Who knows? I will say that first time Hunter and Ribbit, you return from maybe not the first time, but you returned from a parallel world hop, you find yourselves in Phandalin, there will be that one moment where you finally do see Lavender for the first time, tracked you down. But we shall see what happens with those investigations another day. Lila, atop your cliff, grave in front of you and Lalalia in your arms. Over the next few days and weeks, what are you doing? And what are your intentions over the next few months?
Immediately, I'm just going to cry. That is all that Lyra is going to be doing. That is all that Leah is currently capable of doing.
I'm coming. I'm sorry.
Am I in Silver Mist garb at the minute, Matt? Am I in...
You're wearing what you were wearing before.
Alright, cool. What Lyra will initially do is look down at little Lalalia and looking at the grave next to the gravestone that has Saphara. Is Lalalia still deceased?
Yes.
Okay. Then is the sword nearby?
It is still at your side.
Amazing. Then I'm going to take the sword and I'm going to dig a grave for the lady. Place her in it, and I'll fill it back over. And as I pat down the last of the earth, I will look down at it and say, I meant what I said. I will end our family's suffering now, once and for all. And then what I will do is, using as much strength as I can, I will push. I will get a rock or whatever that I can do and place it at the head of this other grave. And I will simply just leave the rock unadorned, but one that I could possibly find that's big enough to kind of sit on, so that if I wanted to return here, then I would have at least a seat to look over the sea, and but also as a sense of just to leave an unmarked grave for the Lalalia, because I don't want, if everybody remembers, then I don't want people to just come and desecrate it and everything like that. I will head to the village that you said was nearby after I sit for a bit and just kind of tell Saphara's grave everything that did happen, just as a kind of processing mechanism, and just kind of apologize to her that I didn't see it earlier, and that, if she can hear me wherever she is, then to not feel bad about being duped by Lalalia, as so many were. The things that she did in her name, shouldn't feel bad for. And explain as best I can that Lalalia is actually my sister. And then I will head into the town nearby, and just kind of float around there for a bit, if people, allow me to. do I still feel like I have an attachment to a divine source? Do I still feel like I have my paladin abilities?
You have your paladin abilities,
Mm-hmm.
and over the next few days, you come to realize that, well, yes, some may get their strength from a divine being directly. The world works in mysterious and magical ways, and it is possible for those with enough conviction in their heart that if one is driven enough, their own oath is what draws magical potential to them. And it's clear that while once upon a time Lelali's magic fueled you, and maybe then the Tranquil Watchers aided you, the majority of it is willpower, drawing on the weave itself. Your oath is what gives you strength.
Amazing. In that case, then I guess Lila wouldn't take an oath straight away. She would sit and think, and over the next few days, kind of go. Thinking about how she's been used for nothing but her abilities and to kill and to destroy and all of those things, and the path that led her down to, ending the Lelia and killing her sister and rewriting realities. She'll just kind of go, enough is enough until I need to. And I guess out of still like a sense of shame would not make it obvious and aware to the rest of the group her whereabouts, unless the reports of Dayak trying to find Lila reached Lila. There was some kind of way that if Lila finds out that Dayak is searching for her, then Lila will, after floating around for a bit without kind of having a place to be, will attempt to seek Dayak out.
As both of you have said that you'll seek each other out, what is it you both do when you finally do meet back up?
Liam, if you want to go first, as you were still talking.
No, I'm doing my last thing to find you. I've found you. You go.
You need now a breather. Get you.
Yeah. Just give me a minute to cry again. All right.
Yeah. I suppose from the sounds of it, I will ad-lib for Liam, and he can correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm here. You do it. If you want to say anything, I'll respond and I'll talk. We can RP.
Oh yeah, RP. That's the thing we can do. How have you been? It's been a while, and you look like you've been through
it. I don't know how I'm doing. I'm not doing okay, and I don't think that I will for a while. Everything is still confusing, and I feel sad, even though she caused so much pain and suffering and took so much from every corner that she could. At the end of the day, it still runs through, that we fixed it and we changed it and we returned everything and we reverted it. But I don't think she was born evil. I think that Shah had, from that holy symbol, I think Shah got her hooks into her somehow. And I think changed her. And I think that, I guess then, that by that, working out that she was, what she did to all of us, the ones that weren't zealotous and were working under false pretenses, I guess she was the same. I guess that there were just things that Shah made her do that turned her into the way that she was. And I'm sad about that, because I'm sad that as a sister, I wasn't around to stop that from happening. And I guess, in a way, I failed her more than once in different ways. But how are you, though? You're out of Silvery Moon. I thought you may have stayed there and continued under that useless idiot we met in the tower.
Oh, God. No, I've given up my position as intelligence agent for Silvery Moon. I have filed all the reports regarding my last mission, including the sheer incompetence from Commander-in-Chief himself. I'm happy enough that the children, the rest of the orphanage, are all safe after everything we've been through. After everything they've been through. And that's good for me. I can visit them whenever I wish to. I visited Cholt, of all places. That took a while. Eva's doing well. She's settled down in her professorial duties. Champion's there.
Oh, good.
That was unexpected. The land there's healing again after everything it's been through. And well, since Cholt, really, I've been looking for you. I am sorry that you've had to go through all of this on your own. If there's anything I can do for you now that I'm here, just let me know. We can stay here. We can reminisce. We can take our time, as much time as you need, and then see what we want to do. Because it sounds like you've been doing a hell of a lot of thinking.
I have indeed been doing a lot of thinking, and when you passed away, I was part of the ritual to bring you back, and I don't know whether you could hear me or not, but I asked your soul to come back, because I quite like having you around, and you were really the first person that spoke to me and opened themselves up to me in an honest and pure way, and I feel like we connected in a way that for lack of a better way, connected over the way that we've been used by a lot of people. And from that experience myself, I know that it takes a lot to be that unguarded with another individual. So I put it out into the ethos that if you were to come back, that I would be here in any way or any capacity that you needed me to be. And I understand that over the days that I came forward to you after that, it was in a very overbearing sense, I guess. But there's only ever been one other person that's made me feel seen and completely honestly bared all with before, and that was Safara. But I meant what I said, that I would be here in any capacity that you wanted me to be it friends or more. I leave the ball in your court entirely. But I would like to spend as much time with you as you would allow me to. And I would love to get to know more about you and your upbringing and your history.
Well, I didn't travel halfway around the world looking for any sign of you, just to say hi. I would very much like that.
And I would at that very timidly move towards Daik, in a way that would signify that I would be going in for a kiss. And you can respond however you would.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Let me have my tender moment. Daik would gingerly at first return the kiss before wrapping his arms around her and just giving her a solid hug. And keep kissing, because he seems to quite enjoy this sensation.
And it is at this moment, Matt, as I was hoping this would play out this way, that Lila will pick, in this tender, honest kiss where Daik continues kissing, in her heart and her willpower, Lila will choose the oath of devotion, and her devotion will be to Daik.
And I think as the camera pans out on that tender moment, some of the party has chosen a life of quiet relaxation. Some are comforting one another in the aftermath of the events of Lily Silvermist and the Sundering. And others are adventuring out once more, discovering what comes next, stepping out into this new world. A world bleeded together of two. Very similar, but also with new things to discover, new horizons to explore. And we'll see what comes next for this bunch of heroes, renowned the world over for their efforts to save it. And I think that's where we will leave A Sundering in Silver for now.
Oh, God,
Oh my god!
I have run out of tears.
thank
My
you, Matt.
eyes just
That was
hurt.
awesome.
Matt,
Oh.
that was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Get out.
I can unmute
My
now.
emotions.
I am emotionally freaking shot, man.
Lavender's about to receive an Amazon Prime delivery of a chest with a frog in it.
He's back.
Incredible.
I feel like
Oh.
we Amazon Prime the frog. Well, we Void Prime the frog to everyone, and we're like, "Hello, sir," and they're like, "Yeah, Misa just needs to go on a quick spirit journey, and then we'll be with you." And we're like, "Okay, sir, you said it, we said no."
Start Pokemoning everybody into the amulet, bring them all back together.
We'll make it work.
We will. Absolutely.
Well, that was horrific and beautiful at the same time.
Oh, so much trauma, but isn't it what we play the D&D for?
Absolutely.
Fucking hell, Matt.
Yeah, that was good.
That was beautiful, Matt. That really was.
Half a
You
decade,
guys did all the acting. Oh, when you put it like that, fucking hell.
I know. It's just it's crazy. And oh god, what an ending.
When we started this, we thought COVID would be over in like 6 months.
Yeah, we started playing in person, didn't we? And then we had
Yeah.
to start doing it online, and that's
It was
how
like
it
2 weeks, and then it was like, oh, we're doing it online from now on.
Yeah.
But I thought that was just gonna be for like literally a couple of weeks. I was like, oh shit, I gotta learn this platform to use for a couple of weeks, and then years went by. Literally.
Well, it's been a spectacular part of my week for all of these years, and I'm grateful to
Yeah.
have played it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me too.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And don't be strangers, any of you. Don't be
100%.
strangers.
100%.
Mm.
I mean, we got
Gosh.
the one shots. We got to do those.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Next date.
Misa will be back.
Yeah.
Get it booked in.